And I even at some point saw a guy got a couple of fingers cut off. I'm Thomas Goofy Vestergaard, and I'm chatting with Staxx.
Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Thomas.
Hello.
What's up? How you doing, Thomas?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you taking the time.
Of course.
So, where were you born and raised?
Yeah, I was born in Denmark, in a little town called Jystrup. It's about 100 kilometers from Copenhagen, and my father was a drunken alcoholic, and he sold weapons to bikers and skinheads when I was a child. When I was 12 years old, we were shooting beer cans with semi-automatic rifles in the backyard, so that was kind of where I grew up.
So were you intrigued by the biker lifestyle when you were younger?
Yeah, it was the only thing I knew, actually. And as I said, my father was very abusive, and he was drinking a lot, so I never knew what kind of attitude he had when he came home. Sometimes he beat me up, or my mother, or my little brother, so I was never safe anywhere. So, and I got bullied at school as well. So my life kind of sucked all the way around. And I actually started drinking when I was 12. And I got my parents got divorced around that time as well. And that was the time where I found out in school that if I used my fist, people would leave me alone. They wouldn't bug me. They wouldn't say anything to me. So that was kind of my way of dealing with all the bullying and stuff. If I was the aggressive one, then I could do whatever the fuck I wanted. For me, that became my kind of mantra. You know, this is what I want to do, and from going from my home, where I had to be low key all the time, from being in school and people were afraid of me and stuff like that, that gave me a kind of a boost. So I felt that, well, this is awesome. I'll just carry on this way. When my parents got divorced, I got my first motorcycle when I was 14. I started hanging around with some people that some were younger than me. They had scooters, and some were older. They had bikes also, motorcycles. And we made a lot of trouble, you know, and actually a lot of them came from families with abuse as well, but there was also a lot of them that came from rich families, you know, which they had the same feeling of they weren't good enough, and the parents didn't care about them because they had to go to their parties and their things with the firm and neighbors and stuff like that. So they just got a bunch of money, then you can buy pizza for your friends or something, and bye-bye, see you later. And we kind of made our own community and made up our own rules because there were no parents to tell us otherwise.
What kind of stuff would you guys do? What kind of stuff would you guys go out and do?
Yeah, we would, steal stuff to buy alcohol, and or just steal alcohol. We're drinking. A lot of them were smoking as well. And we steal cars, drive them to smash them or whatever. kind of making up our own rules as we went along. I remember one time that we stole some beers from what's it called? Where you have the cars.
Drive-in?
Yeah, from a house down the street, and we broke in, stole all the beers, and then we held a party, three houses down. Very smart. So he figured out who it was really quick, and he came over, and he was actually pretty nice about it. Said that he knew that we were the one that stole his beers, and if we just put them back after the weekend, it was fine. And he talked about he was a member of this motorcycle club and stuff like that. And instead of just saying, okay, we'll do that, a buddy of mine, he just headbutted him. And some of my friends helped him. They just start kicking him in the head, and because we didn't like people telling us what to do. We'll figure out what we're going to do. And after that, I don't know if it was true that he was in a biker club, and I don't want to mention which one because it doesn't matter. But that was the day after. There were these big BMWs with black windows driving around asking about my friend and the local area where we used to hang out. So he had to disappear for a while. And then another group kind of hang around at the bars that we were at. And back then in Denmark, you could get beers everywhere. Kids could go in and buy beers in the supermarket. People didn't care. So I used to hang out at the bars and restaurant drinking beer when I was 12, 13, 15.
Why didn't they care? Why would they let kids buy beer?
Well, it was normal back then. It just most of them thought, they are buying beer for their parents or cigarettes for their parents or something like that. I think once or twice I've been throwing out of a bar because they knew I wasn't old enough. But otherwise than that, they didn't care. As long as we had money, they sell us whatever, In Denmark, it's actually legal to buy alcohol when you're 15. So yeah, people didn't care that much. It wasn't that big of a deal back then.
Was there a lot of motorcycle clubs around your area at that time? And did you have any ambitions? What did you want to do when you got older?
Yeah, I didn't care much. For me, it was just like no accountability. I had a bad childhood. My parents are dickheads and they treated me like shit. So now I can treat the world like shit. I didn't care. And my dad used to tell me when he was beating me up, you ain't worth nothing. You'll never amount to anything. And you're a piece of shit. So that became my reality, or maybe I should say my excuse, because
I had the same thing happen to me, and I believed it. I believed that. Yeah,
I was my own worst enemy. I fuck up everything because why should I make an effort? Because I'm gonna ruin it anyway. After this incident happened, another group of bikers hang out at our local bar and gave us free beer and stuff like that. And they said, you're tough guys. You can put down an adult and you're just kids. And you can come with us and we can teach you how really things are going on and stuff like that, And then we started going out with these guys because they gave us some attention, and kind of boosted our personality a bit. So but they just used us. You know, we were standing guard when they sold drugs or when they broke into apartments, and also we hang out at places where homes of people that didn't pay their drug money. So we would call them when they got home so they could come and collect. Even sometimes we were there when they beat up these guys that couldn't pay. And I even at some point saw a guy got a couple of fingers cut off with a scissor because he couldn't pay. And they just cut 2 fingers off him and threw him in the toilet and just let them flush.
He just flushed his fingers down the toilet?
He just flushed his fingers down the toilet. And for me, that was kind of crazy, but and a lot of the younger guys I was with, that was too much for them to handle, so they just left. You know, they couldn't deal with that. But for me, I didn't have any other place to go. Yeah. So I didn't have a family. I didn't have anybody. So I need to this needs to work for me because I have nowhere else to go. So I stayed, and it became worse. I remember a time where I was invited to a party, and we came in this restaurant, and there was this back door, and hey, Thomas, come here, you need to talk to this guy. And came in this little room where all the guys I knew were sitting behind a desk, and there was only this one light on the desk, you know, these old ones. And they put me in a chair in front of all these people. And the guy in front of me, I knew him very well. He just said, "Okay, Thomas, you f***ed up. Now it's over." And then he took up a 45, put it on the table, and he said, "What do you have to say for yourself?"